is these few things. Okay, first of all, you need a piece of plexiglass. That's the top part there. Those two things you're looking at there, those pointy things, are two stainless steel screws. And connected to that is a leftover piece of cord off of an old computer or whatever. And as you'll see there, it's laying there ready to be plugged in. All right, over here we have a cup of fresh water, a little bit of salt, and of course coffee. Here's what we're going to do. Hi guys, I'm surprised y'all caught me this quick. I wanted to do this live so it didn't take so long for it to upload. Okay, you take your salt and you put just a tiny bit in the water. Doesn't take much at all. What this does is it allows the water to pass electricity much better. And I'm going to take this right here, and be cautious of this. This is not the safest thing in the world to do, because you're dealing with 120 volts right here. So you do not want to touch this thing once you plug it in. Okay, I'm going to sit the phone in just a second and plug it in. Let me see if I can set it to where it'll actually be filming as the, well, we'll call it electrolysis start. Let me see if I can get this. There you go. Now you got a good view of what is fixing to take place. Hopefully I didn't put too much salt in there and trip my breaker. We'll find out in a minute. Okay, she's plugged in. And I will not touch this thing until it is done and I unplug it. Alright, if you notice, look very carefully, it's already starting to bubble. Usually takes about 1 minute and it'll be almost boiling. You notice I'm not touching that. Hey, Kelly and Marie, and hope I didn't miss nobody. This is just a neat little thing I picked up out of an article in a Easy Rider magazine. It was I think it was a fictional story about a guy in jail, and this was how he made coffee. Not exactly like this, but the principle's all the same. Notice the bubbles starting to collect around that stainless screw there. And notice the plexiglass is sitting on top of the glass, so there's no electricity being passed to my floor. Very, very good insulators. Yes, the bubbling has started. I'll get a little bit closer there without touching it. See the bubbles there? Okay, it should take about 30 more, somewhere around 30 more seconds. It'll really start to boil in there in a minute. That little bit of salt is what makes it work. Just curious what chats I support. Oh, okay. There it is. She's really starting to go now. I can actually touch that plexiglass without getting zapped, but there's no need to. And another tip, the closer those two electrodes are together, the higher the current will be and the faster it'll work. I elected to do it within that far apart because sometimes I like to make ramen noodles this way. And this is a great thing if you say out in the shop or something. You don't want to have to worry with a microwave to heat your coffee up. This is a quick and easy way to do it. As long as you remember to be safe, do not touch anything metal. Or if you're using a metal cup, do not let those probes touch the side of it. Oh no, not more trolls. Hey Ozarks, just doing a little quick live here so I can show people how to make coffee without the use of a coffee pot or burner or anything like that. It's very simple. While it's cooking away there, I'm gonna Go down the cord and show you. There it is. She's plugged in. And only other ingredients you need, if you like creamer and stuff, you got to have that. But a little pinch of salt, and of course your coffee. Once the water's good and hot, you can make your coffee. I'm gonna hang here long enough so you can see that this actually does work. If I'd have thought about it, I should have put a thermometer in there so you could see the temperature rising. But like I said, it only takes about a minute to heat that whole cup of water. Yeah. So how's everyone doing this morning? It is gorgeous weather here. Gorgeous. Give you a shot of the outside there. Ain't that beautiful? Sun's out. The sky's nice. All right, Marie. Glad you're doing well. Oh, the fairy lady's here. Hi, Miss Fairy Lady. Hope you're feeling better. Yeah, she's still bubbling away. I'll unplug this just a second and check the temperature. Yeah, she's already starting to get warm. Stir that up just a little. I'll plug her back in. Your sauce package in the water, and for some reason it works even better than salt does. I guess because it's such a more powdered and it's got more organic content to it, so it moves the electricity a little better than just a straight salt. The more salt you put in there, the faster this will happen, but you don't want your coffee too salty. Just a little pinch in there takes the bitter edge off of it. Actually makes a really good cup of coffee. This thing's disappointing me. It's not happening as fast as I wanted it to. I should have just used a little more salt for shortening up the video, but it's a working. The longer you leave it plugged in, the hotter it'll get too. It will actually boil. I forgot about it for like 5 minutes and come back and half the cup of water's gone. Say that again, I broke up. Oh, I was just explaining that the salt, the more salt you put in there, the faster this will happen, but you don't want to put too much in there because it'll make your cup of coffee very salty. Get a little bit closer to that, maybe you can see the bubbles a little better. But it is actually, it's actually getting warm. See if it bites me. No, it didn't bite me. Oh yes, it's up to about, I would say 85 to 90 degrees right now. Oh yeah, she's starting to bubble a little bit more aggressively now. As the water gets warmer, I guess the salt travels through the water better, and it will. As it gets closer to done, it gets faster and faster. Yeah, I guess you would say electrolysis, because if, say I were to put a penny in the bottom of that cup, it would actually take, but you'd have to do it with DC, not AC. This is AC, unfortunately. If, say you used a car battery, big 12-volt car battery, and connected to this and put a copper penny in the bottom, those stainless probes, one of them, not both of them, one of them will become copper plated. That's the beginning process of doing chrome work. Also, once you get your copper coat on, then you change up to nickel, and then you let that, it'll go ahead and coat copper, And then once that's done, you'll put your, I believe it's chromium sulfate or chromium nitrate, one of the two, into the solution. And then you get that nice pre-chrome. Of course, everything's got to be polished or it won't come out pretty shiny. It'll just be chrome plated. It'll be kind of rough. And you can do it with lots of different metals: aluminum, steel, stainless. I don't know how many others. I've never tried anything other than aluminum and regular steel. I know it'll do it on stainless, but stainless is pretty polished anyway. You really don't need the chrome yet. Yeah, look at the bubbles on that thing now. Let's see. It is almost warm enough to make coffee now. It's up to about 80, 90, 80, 90 degrees. Like I say, it's doing a little bit slow here. I have had it work a lot faster than this. If your water has a lot of minerals in it, it really, really kicks butt. It will boil in no time. Oh, by the way, this is much more energy efficient than using a coffee pot, because this is not a direct short. It's simply passing the electricity through the water. So the comparison of using this versus a coffee pot, let's say the coffee pot will pull 300 to 400 watts. This is probably pulling somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 watts. I hadn't checked it. That's something interesting I can do. I can split that cord there further back and put the amp probe on it and see exactly what it's pulling. And you'll notice if you do that, I have done it before. Uh, it'll slowly rise. The warmer the water gets, the higher the current draw will become. But like I said, for those that are just joining, do not touch anything once you plug this in. You saw me touch the outside of the glass, but I know it's a good insulator and it's not wet. If it were wet, it would have bit me. I wish I had a thermometer laying up there so you could see the temperature rising. She's up to about 100 now. Slow, I should put a little more salt in there just for the display purposes or speeding it up. Yeah, I'm not actually out in the cold. I'm outside the garage here. I was talking about cooking with a welder. That is awesome. I got to make that video. And that just requires a stainless steel frying pan, or you can use cast, but stainless works better. It conducts better. Say you want to cook a hamburger. Make your hamburger patty up, throw it in a stainless pan, hook the negative from the welder onto the handle of the stainless, uh, not onto the handle of the stainless spatula to the frying pan. So the negative is the frying pan. Place your meat in there. Put your little butter or something on the bottom of it so it don't stick. And then you take the spatula and clamp the hot to it. In other words, the part that you normally put your welding rod in, and you clamp that to your spatula, and go over and turn your welder on, and being careful not to touch the sides of the pan with the spatula. You press down on the top of the hamburger meat. You wait about 4 minutes, and you got yourself a cooked hot hamburger. And you have to experiment with the amps. It depends on how well it's distributing the juice. 30 amps is usually plenty. And here again, the DC current works better for that one. I've got a half rectified welder that I'm going to do mine with. Yeah, anyway, let's see. Are we hot enough to make coffee? Almost. Almost. I mean, it's hot enough to drink now, but I want it hot enough where the coffee dissolves like it should. Geez, next time I do this, I'm going to do it with more salt. That way it'll be faster. But when I make the oodles and noodles like this, boy, that little sauce that you put in there, It doesn't take no time. That water's boiling. It's like 2 minutes. Of course, that stuff's got a lot of salt in it. Quarter teaspoon of it. It makes an excellent electrolyte. That was the word I was looking for earlier. Yes, I do. I'm sort of watching the chat, sort of paying attention to everything else. Hi, everybody. Glad you're here. Awesome. Should be up close to 100. About 105 now. Yeah, it's rising slowly. But, oh, I just realized something I screwed up on. Oops, excuse my language there. Uh, Notice where it's sitting. That concrete is only about 40 degrees right now. No wonder it's taking so long. The concrete's sucking the heat back out of it. But it's working. It's even. Yeah, I can feel the difference in the temperature of the concrete here and here is about 15 degrees difference. My kitchen treasure, hello. Just saw you jump in there. And you're welcome. Hey Jeff, good to see you here, man. Just something that I'm showing here, and like I said, you just got in, so like I was telling everybody, do not touch anything once you plug it in. You can touch the outside of the glass if it's not wet, but just for safety's sake, see them two screws? Never ever touch those. They'll bite you. See if I can get a close enough of that so you can actually see the bubbles coming off of there. That tells you it's working. It's not doing it near as aggressive as I'd hoped it would. I didn't put just a little bit of salt in there. Oh yeah, she's warming up. I had to sit it on that cold floor. That was my bad there. It'd been a lot faster. Okay, I think she's. Yeah, I do believe she's warm enough to mix the coffee now. You know, the outside glass feels like about maybe 110, 108, somewhere in that area. Geez, I wish that would have went a little faster. It's kind of boring sitting there watching this thing. Like I say, you can see the bubbles coming off the two stainless screws there. Okay. It may not be quite hot enough, but just for sakes of shortening the video here a little bit, I'm gonna go ahead and unplug this. Notice you always unplug before you touch it. Now, as soon as that's unplugged, there's no current there, so you're safe to go ahead and take that out. Now we're going to get us a little coffee here. Let's see how hot I let it get. Let's see if she's going to dissolve properly. Oh yes. Check it out. Now we have a hot cup of coffee. I use the mug as electrode and place the positive in the center. It should heat very quickly, but no touchy. Yes, that's right. And also, if you use a metal mug, find a glass dish or something to sit it on, so that if you accidentally get the polarity backwards, your whole countertop's not live. Well, let's see how that tastes. Pretty good cup of coffee. Got a slight salty taste to it, but that's, you got to do that to get your electrolysis to start. The water by itself, it would take an hour to heat it, but with the salt in there, it makes a pretty good what do you call it, electrolyte. But anyways, if you don't got a microwave and you got a piece of wire, a piece of plexiglass, and a couple of screws, you got a hot cup of coffee. I should have let that one go a little bit longer. It's not quite as hot as it should be, but yeah, you get the principle of how it works. Hope y'all enjoyed this one. I'm gonna do a live tonight, probably at 7 o'clock. If I don't start at 7, it'll be 8. It depends on how late I'm out working. I got to go and help a friend of mine cut up a bunch of wood, split it, put it on the truck. We got a couple of loads already sold. We got to go and haul them and unload them. Anyway, guys, glad you're all here. I'm gonna jump back out of here, and I will catch up with y'all later.